Hello, I'm Halogen, and I welcome you to this segment of DiabloSpot. Today I felt that, well, at least in all the videos, I feel that we've covered a lot of Diablo 3, at least what we know currently. But we haven't covered the lore of Diablo. Obviously, there's Diablo 2 and Diablo 1, but what happened before Diablo 1? So, first off, before I start that, or this is a precursor to it, the Diablo universe is built on a core idea, and this core idea is that heaven and hell are in an eternal war between each other, and this war's been going on forever. And this war is known as the Great Conflict. And so obviously, this war, nothing's really happened with this war. It's always just been an impasse. It's always been neither side is winning or losing. It's just people are dying for really no apparent reason. But later on, the mortal realm comes into the picture, and both heaven and hell feel that the mortal realm might be the deciding factor in who will be decided to win this war. And so both heaven and hell send agents down to Earth, down to the mortal realm to try and convince humans to join their cause and fight for them. So the primevals, being Baal, Lord of Destruction, Mephisto, Lord of Hatred, and Diablo, Lord of Terror, decide to pervert human souls into joining their army. And the lesser evils, being Belial, Lord of Sin, Lord of Lies, Asmodon, the Lord of Sin, Andariel, the Maiden of Anguish, and Duriel, the Lord of Pain, felt that the three primevals were not doing their utmost of trying to win the great conflict. I mean, they're just perverting souls. That's not fighting a conflict. That's not doing anything. But they ignorantly believed this because heaven was also trying to take men to fight for them. So hell should be doing that too. They should be fighting over the humans. And this fighting over humans and humans fighting in the Great Conflict is known as the Sin War. The lesser evils, feeling that the primevals are not doing enough, decide to overthrow the primevals, and they do. But before the primevals are banished, they take out about a third of Hell's army. So after this, Belial and Asmodon decide that they're going to take over Hell, but the problem is that neither wants to relinquish that fact. They both want Hell. So Hell splits straight down the middle, Belial owning one half and Asmodon owning the other. And so they're fighting over who actually will end up ruling Hell. And this goes on until Diablo 3. They're still fighting over who's going to run Hell. And so now the primevals are banished to the mortal realm. And this is where the Archangel Tyrael comes in to form the group of magi called the Horadrim. And the Horadrim were created to hunt down the three primevals. And so Mephisto gets hunted down, gets turned into a stone, whatever. There isn't much information on that. But we do know about Baal. Baal gets hunted down, but his soul stone gets damaged. And so Tal Rasha, one of the magi, decides that he is willing to fight Baal for the rest of his willing to fight Baal for eternity, just forever. And so he stabs the stone to his chest and fights Baal for eternity. And then the Horadrim hunt down or discover that Diablo is in Kandurus, and so they go there and hunt him down, and they capture him, put him into a soul stone, and they put the soul stone down into a church that they build, and then they build a ton of catacombs down there, and then they drop the stone at the bottom of the catacombs. No one will find that, right? And so after this, so way down the line, after the Horadrim are all dead and everything, King Leoric comes in and takes over Kandurus. And Diablo, for some reason, feels that, hey, I bet it's about time that I come back out again and start wreaking havoc. And so Diablo decides to cause King Leoric to go mad. So he starts perverting King Leoric's mind. But also in perverting King Leoric's mind, he perverts his archbishop's mind, and his name is Lazarus. And Lazarus, being more controlled by Diablo than Leoric is, Lazarus decides to let the king continue to go insane. And to make this happen faster, Lazarus convinces Leoric that another country is trying to take over trying to take his land. And so Leoric decides to send off all of his men, Lochdanon and his vassals and knights, off to go fight this war. And even though Lochdanon and a whole bunch of other people said, no, we shouldn't do this, Leoric is just like, no, you're going to go do it. And so they do, because King Leoric is the king, and you can't defy the king. And so after that, all these men are gone, and so Diablo now has direct control over Leoric, basically. But Diablo now needs to find a soul to take over. And what better soul than King Leoric's son? And so the son's name is Albrecht, and Lazarus takes Albrecht down into the catacombs and allows Diablo to take him over. This is when Diablo stops controlling Leoric, just kind of lets him to his own vices. And since Leoric's been perverted for so long, he's still screwed up. He's still insane, basically. And so Lazarus has taken Albrecht down into the catacombs. Diablo's taken him over. And Leoric is wondering, where the hell's my son? Where is he? And so since he's insane, he believes that the town of Tristram has concocted a plan to take his son and kidnap him and hold him for ransom or something. And so King Leoric decides to send his guards down into Tristram to harass the people for stealing his son, even though they didn't do that. Yep, that's pretty much what happened. And so after harassing these the people of Tristram, King Leoric's vassals and knights and Lochdanon come back from the war and find that King Leoric is beyond saving. Lochdanon, by the way, I forgot to mention, is basically King Leoric's badass paladin. But anyways, Lochdanon finds out that Leoric is beyond saving, and so Lochdanon decides to defend himself, and he does, because Leoric decides to send out soldiers to kill off Lochdanon and his men, because Lochdanon might tie into the people of Tristram's plan to kidnap his son. Seems kind of odd, but whatever. He's insane. It's okay. And so this battle includes King Leoric and Lochdanon through some reason. I don't know why. But they end up into the catacombs of the church where Diablo is. And Lochdanon, obviously being his badass paladin, kills off all of Leoric's men. And Lochdanon himself goes to kill Leoric. And Leoric, before he dies, condemns Lochdanon and his men to eternal damnation. And Lochdanon, after that, kills him, and the king's dead now. So after that, Lazarus being still alive down where Diablo is in the catacombs, Lazarus comes back up to, before that, demons, a whole bunch of demons and everything are coming out of the church and terrorizing the people of Tristram. So tons of people leave Tristram. So now everyone's in a fright, everyone's scared, everyone's desperate for help. And so Lazarus comes back up, says, "Hey, we need to find our next ruler, which is Albrecht, and he's still down the catacombs. We need to go find him." And so Lazarus builds up a mob, basically, of the Tristram men, and they go down to try and find his son. And obviously Lazarus sure as hell isn't bringing him down to his son, bringing him down to King Leoric's son. So all the men basically get killed off, and the ones that get back tell the horrifying tale. And this is where your hero comes in for Diablo 1. And that's it for what the timeline between the beginning, the timeline before Diablo 1 and up to Diablo 1. So this is where I'm going to end this video. I will continue with Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 at later dates. So this is the end of the video. I'm Halogen, and I thank you for watching.